Welcome to Unnamed Cocktail Show, a cocktail show for people who want to learn how to drink better. Today we're going to be starting a series on the 6 core cocktails that form the foundation for the current cocktail library. By making slight adjustments to any one of these 6 recipes, we're able to create new drinks and revamp the classics. The idea for the series came after reading the Cocktail Codex, which is the second book from Death & Company, an amazing New York cocktail bar. If you're interested in the theories described, you should definitely get a copy. There's way more in here than I could ever make videos about, and I'm mostly going to focus on the core 6. Today, we're talking about the first of those drinks. The Old Fashioned is a relatively simple drink, but therein lies the beauty of it. There's all kinds of different regional variants to an Old Fashioned, which happens with many of the more classic cocktails. The longer they've been around, the more time people have had to play with them. For example, you might get an Old Fashioned that has a sugar cube muddled with bitters, an orange slice, and a neon red maraschino cherry. It might be made with bourbon, or whiskey, or brandy. If you're in Wisconsin, it might even be topped off with soda water. The way I like to make it, and the Codex agrees with me, is extremely simple. It has 3 ingredients, and the simplicity is something that can allow a really good quality liquor to shine through. This recipe can take a lovely higher end single barrel bourbon like Blanton's here and really just show off the quality. If you're wanting to learn how to drink better, one of the easiest things to do is just have some higher quality liquor and know when to use it. For example, there's absolutely no reason you should mix Blanton's with Coke. On the other side, I feel like an Old Fashioned shines best when it has at least a mid-level bourbon to anchor it. But there's no need to run out and buy $60+ bottles of liquor just for a recipe. If you have those bottles, you should have them because you like them. You shouldn't treat a bar like an investment. It's for entertaining and enjoyment. So I'm not going to be using Blanton's today. I'm going to be using something in about the $30 range. It's Buffalo Trace. Now, this is a great mid-range bourbon. It is simple, smooth, and straightforward, which makes it perfect for this recipe. To start out with, let's grab a chunk of ice and crack it. Cracking your ice, especially with larger pieces of ice, increases the surface area, which allows for quicker chilling and better dilution. So to start off, we're going to take about 2 ounces of the Buffalo Trace bourbon and pour that into our mixing glass. Next, we're going to be taking simple syrup. I made this batch yesterday, and I will have a video up showing you on how you can make your own simple syrup at home. I like to use a 2-to-1 sugar to water ratio for simple, because at that point it sweetens and it also adds a little extra viscosity to liquor-heavy drinks. With an Old Fashioned, it's always a good idea to go light on the syrup first, because you can always add a little more later. So I'm starting out with a 1/4 ounce of this homemade simple. If you're using a pre-made simple, you might want to use a little more. Next, we're going to be adding in 2 dashes of the traditional Angostura bitters. And then, since I'm not muddling an orange slice in this, I like to put in a dash of orange bitters as well, just for a gentle citrus bite. So now that all of the ingredients are in your mixing glass, you're going to take your spoon and you're going to try to throw your ice around the outside of the glass, letting the spoon turn itself. And what you're looking for this to do is just start to cloud the outside of the glass to show you that everything's getting down to temp. Now that it's chilled, grab a chunk of ice. At this point, it's good to use a large piece of ice because you already have your drink diluted and chilled to the point you want. And smaller ice is going to dilute it down more and give you a weaker drink. I'm using this spherical ice mold from Tovolo. It makes nice large ice balls in your freezer. Then you're just going to grab your julep strainer and strain into the glass. All that's left to do at this point is to garnish your drink. For an Old Fashioned, I like to bring the orange and cherry back in the garnish. So I'm going to peel an orange. When you're peeling, try to get a nice piece about an inch or so wide by as long as you can get it. With peel, remember that you're trying to just get the peel and the white, and you're trying to avoid the fruit itself. You can use a citrus or vegetable peeler to do this, or a paring knife also works well, but you gotta work on your precision. I like to flame the orange peel over the drink. It's showy if you're working in a bar or entertaining, and it's also practical. So you want to light a bit of toothpick and use that to warm your peel. You don't want to use the match itself because you'll get that sulfur flavor coming through. So warming the peel helps the oils release so you can flame those directly into the drink. This has citrus on the nose of the drink and really opens it up. Now, grab some cherries. I prefer to use a darker cherry for depth of flavor, as opposed to the neon red maraschino. So what I'm using are just some Morello cherries. They're a dark, slightly sour cherry. So I added some honey and a splash of bourbon into this jar to help mellow out that slightly sour flavor. Remember, drinks start with the eyes. So I always like to make my garnishes look nice. For the old-fashioned, I make an S curve with the orange peel and just nestle those cherries inside. Add your garnish to your drink and enjoy.